What's up, everybody? So I want to kind of start doing videos again, but I want them to be a little more instructional, I guess, or just what I do, you know, here and there when I mod a car. So I'm no longer at Tapped Performance, as you can see. I'm in a dealership uniform again. Just decided I needed to get back to doing that, and the money was good, and just what I really wanted to go back and do. Just kind of got burnt out. There was just things I couldn't deal with, so it was hard. Anyway, I'm getting to kind of my own thing. I want to do my own stuff, you know, when I can, of course. I still have a full-time job and kids and wife and things like that, so I'll be doing what I can when I can. But I've been working on the Magnum. I've been working on my new little daily, the Neon. I'm not in the Neon today. I'm in the Magnum. So I've been doing some tuning on that with Chris Ward from Say Win Tuning and Performance. Amazing dude. Has been awesome with helping me remote tune this thing, and it has been quite a journey to get this car done, and ended up having to do red-eye demon sensors because of the amount of boost the car's running. Kind of forgot that I needed to do that with this build, and got to that point. So now we're going to move forward and keep it going on the tune stuff. We're pretty much done with it. There's a few little things we got to iron out. The Neon is my daily. I mean, it's a big turbo car. It's pretty cool. Doing little things here and there because I can't not touch something that I own. So anyway, we'll do some more videos on that. Excuse me, I'm tired. And yeah, we'll get going on the Neon. Just doing a lot more cosmetic stuff on that right now. I'll be doing the fuel system. So this video that I'm going to post right now is kind of starting with the fuel system, doing a hat modification to accept a Hellcat pump and the pressure and return lines from a full return system for the fuel system, so I can run E85 if I want to. But anyway, hope you guys enjoy the video. You know, please share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Trying to really just kind of get back into this and kind of do my own thing, and you know, just do it on my own spare time. So not that I have a lot of that, but you know, when I can, I will. And please let me know if you guys, you know, want to see anything in particular. You want to see something on the car, how I did this, that, or the other. I still get a lot of 8-speed questions on Rams. I can still do 8-speed swaps. That was, you know, pretty simple stuff. So anyway, we'll catch you on the next video. So I'll be starting with my fuel system upgrade for the Neon. Got this stock hat that I'm going to modify for the fuel pump. I'm going to drill a little hole right here that I can run the hose. I've got a Hellcat pump in here that I'm going to use. I'll secure it to the bottom, and then I'll put another filter sock on there so that way I can put this together. And then what I'll be doing is putting dash 8 lines up here. That way it can have one to drain back into the tank and one that's pressurized feed from the Hellcat pump. So we'll do that and get it all back together, and hopefully we can get this thing situated here soon. I'm putting the hole, I'm gonna have to grind down that little web right there to make the thingy clear, so we'll do that next. So now I've got a hole for the outlet for the pump, so that'll pretty much line up where I need it to. I'm gonna epoxy that so I don't have any leakage into the tank just from air or anything. It's not even gonna be doing anything, it just holds the rest of the hat together, so that's what we're doing next. So inlet, that's where this thing will go. So that'll go there with a washer and then the nut, and that'll screw back on. So now that's in there. So what I'll be using is these high pressure EFI clamps with the high pressure hose. And this is just hose you can get it, you know, AutoZone or O'Reilly's or anything like that. It doesn't need to be like crazy. It just needs to be the EFI SAE stuff. So 3/8, it's all 100 PSI rated, so it should be plenty of rating for that. So we'll get this clamped tight, and then what I'll do is I'll measure where I need to cut the fuel line at to mount to the fuel pump, and then I'll do the same thing on this end that I will on this end for the fuel pump to actually accept the hose. So I went ahead and just put two just for a little bit safer clamping force there. So now what I'll do is I'll put that back in, run it up through the hole, plug it in, clamp it, and then we should be good. So what I'm actually doing here is I'm just taking the Hellcat connector, I cut it off, I took the stock connector back to the hat, and I'm gonna just hardwire it and solder and heat shrink it to the connector for the Neon. I decided to just do this and not actually replace the connector to the hat just because I wasn't too concerned about the wiring on the stock hat. It should be fine. If it isn't, I'll see it in the fuel pressure, so it shouldn't be a huge deal. But yeah, we just got this thing soldered up, got the heat shrink on it, and that'll allow me to put the rest of the hat assembly back together. But we should be good to go after this. Alright, so we've soldered these two wires. This will go back in here. And that goes into the pump. And then I'll get something to secure the pump to the bottom. So, I've got the connector back in. I've got the hose in. I haven't clamped it yet, but it is running to the pump. Pump is positioned where I wanted it. And then I'm going to get something, again, to secure the pump to the actual case here, and then what I'll do is probably run the return here in this area down around to the bottom. That way it hits the bottom of the actual pump where the return line will come. But so far, we're getting there. Alright, hose is secure. Back into the hat. Back down to the pump. Everything's looking pretty good. I'll run the return hose probably here again, and I'm going to run the hose down to here to the bottom and make sure that the return fuel is going right to the... So I ended up kind of messing this thing up. I drilled too big of a hole, but I'm gonna try to plastic weld this thing into here. It's just for the return, so there's not gonna be a lot of pressure on it, but I'll probably put a little bit of epoxy around it too, just so it doesn't leak any air. Again, I'm not worried about the pressure, it's just the return that's coming to the tank. So I'll fix that hopefully, and should be good to go. Alright, got the other return fitting in. Did a little epoxy on top, should be fine. Gonna epoxy in that still just to fill that in so there's no air escaping. Obviously I would not do this to somebody else's car, but since it's my car and I know that I'm okay with my fix, I did it this way. So don't judge me, but whatever. Want to get this thing kind of up and running and going, and like I said, this isn't going to cause any drivability issues. There's no pressure that goes to the rail. It's from this one, so it shouldn't be a big deal. So here it is, fuel pump outlet to the return, and I'll figure out what I'm going to do with the bottom, and I got to get a sock for this thing too, so we should be good to go after this. What's up? So the reason I did this fuel pump modification is because I want to run E85 on the Neon, and in order to do that, most people are going to tell you you need to do a full return fuel system. A lot of people just do the AGP return kit, but I decided just to do a full return on mine with a rail. So we're going to do that as well, but this is just me modifying the canister to accept a Hellcat pump. It is a 525 pump with just some hose clamps, some EFI lines, and some AN fittings. So should work pretty well. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty simple mod, not a whole lot to it. And, we'll get it installed here pretty soon, and we'll go from there and see if we can turn the boost up on the Neon. So should be pretty cool. Thanks for watching. I'm going to try to post more videos. I've been trying to do it a lot more lately, but it's hard with having a full-time job and kids and wife and all that good stuff. But I'm going to keep going and keep trying to make cool videos for everybody. Let me know what you think. Thanks.